What's going on, New York Ranger fans? It's Michael Flecha, and here we go again, another edition of the Ranger Roundup. And this time, the New York Rangers dug down deep, got out of an early hole, and showed the Pittsburgh Penguins New York Ranger hockey the way it should be done. Rangers win game two. They've evened up the series at one game apiece. 4-2 was your final score. And let's dive right in. Well, the big question is Henrik Lundqvist going to be behind the nets, behind the pipes for the New York Rangers? The answer to that question, yes, he was. And boy, did he deliver in some clutch moments. But unfortunately for the Rangers, basically they had to go after virtually no scoring in the first period, no goals after one period. The second period, the Pittsburgh Penguins struck first again, as this time it was Phil Kessel, a power play goal at 3:21, assisted by Trevor Daley and Nick Barino. That gave the Penguins a 1-0 lead. And I know you New York Ranger fans must have been thinking, oh no, here we go again. Another disaster another disaster on our mitts. Well, no, it was not, because after that, the Rangers exploded for 3 goals in the second period. Keith Yandel gets his first goal of the postseason, assisted by JT Miller and Derek Brassard. That gave the Rangers, that tied the game at 1-1. The goal was scored at 12:38 in the period. Get this. Nearly 14 seconds later, the Rangers take the lead. Derek Brassard gets the goal. JT Miller gets his second goal. And Ben Cejek gets the assist. That gave the Rangers a 2-1 lead. Then about less than 4 minutes later again, Matt Zuccarello, gets the goal. That gives the Rangers a 3-1 lead. Give the assist, an assisting hat trick by JT Miller. He gets all 3 of the assists for the New York Rangers. And going into the third, the Rangers were up 3-1. Then the good times got even better for the Rangers. 39 seconds into the period, Chris Kreider, goal! 4-1 New York. Give the assist to Derek Brassard. That was his second. Now Brassard gets 3 points in the game as well. He basically got 2 assists, gets a goal in the game as well. Unfortunately for the Rangers, the good times only rolled for just a couple of moments, because later in the period, Phil Kessel gets a goal. It was a power play goal, a 4-on-3 goal. What happened was a couple of penalties broke out. Basically, some bad blood started to spill over between both teams. There was a 4-on-3 situation. Phil Kessel gets the goal. Nick Bonrino and Evgeny Malkin, yes, that Evgeny Malkin. He actually came back from injury. He played in this game today. He was only effective very little, only got that 1 assist. But once it was all said and done, basically the New York Rangers pretty much had really nothing else to worry about. They slammed the door on the Pittsburgh Penguins after a great performance by Henrik Lundqvist. He had 29 saves on 31 shots. Basically a tremendous game. Just to give you a quick stat line on the 3 stars of the game, before I toss it over to Anthony Florio so that he goes into more further detail, Phil Kessel gets the number 3 star with the 2 goals. The number 2 star, like I said, was Derek Brassard, 2 goals and 1 assist. And the number 1 star, JT Miller, 3 assists, an assisting hat trick for JT Miller. But more importantly, Rangers win 4-2. They have now tied the best of 7 series at 1 game apiece. And now we head back to the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden, on Tuesday night for a very important game 3. Anthony Florio, come on in. Give us your thoughts about the game, the stats of the game. And Anthony, now this best of 7 series is now a best of 5. First team to get 3 wins moves on to the next round.
Best of 5 indeed, Michael Flecha, and thank you very much on that. Hello, friends. It's Anthony Florio here with you for another installment of the New York Ranger Roundup. Delighted to be here as always. Delighted to have you with us as well. And what can I say? I mean, it's one thing when we do it during a loss, but I'll tell you what, anytime we get to do this with a win, I mean, it's even more special. So, yeah, we definitely have a little spring in our step here tonight. And, yeah, I mean, this was it's needless to say, we were both channeling our inner Alfred E. Newman of the Mad magazine going into this because we were like, what? Us worry? Yeah, very much so. Yeah, we were both very worried about Henrik Lundqvist going into the game. And I didn't get a chance to see the game today. I had a very special family outing, as you know, when I plugged that during my shout-outs at the end of last night's Strictly Sports. And Michael Flecha sent me a text while I was there, and I asked him how it went, and he gave me the good news, so I was very happy to hear it. But I actually did see the highlights. I saw the highlights on during one of the intermissions, during one of the games with Catherine Tappan there, and I liked what I saw. I very much liked what I saw from the New York Rangers today, no question about it. Henrik Lundqvist being there. I mean, that's his right eye is just fine. Thank you very much for asking. And he played like we needed him to play like the best in the world today, and he certainly did just that. Yeah, he gave up a couple of goals, but that's okay. 29 saves on 31 shots, just incredible. And yeah, he's going to be just fine. And 3 days removed from that freakish run in between his face and teammate Mark Stahl's stick, Henrik Lundqvist looked like his ever steady self while making 29 saves. And the New York Rangers took advantage of some very sloppy defensive play by Pittsburgh in the 4-2 win here this afternoon. Of course, I'll break it down like I always do. Pittsburgh Penguins outshot the New York Rangers 31-28 overall. New York Rangers were 0 for 3 on the power play. The Pittsburgh Penguins were 2 out of 5 on the power play, 40%. Rangers, of course, at 0%. Pittsburgh had the face-off advantage, 39-31. New York Rangers had the advantage in the block shots, 18-17. But here comes the difference maker, Michael Flecha, and this is a very telling stat I want to share with you all. The New York Rangers out-hit the Pittsburgh Penguins, get this, 57-25. Is that not a difference maker, Michael Flecha? I don't know what is. 57-25 in hits in favor of the New York Rangers? Yeah. That's a very telling number right there, folks. Very telling. And of course, I for the most part I agree with the 3 stars of the game. I mean, no question, Phil Kessel was the best player on the ice for Pittsburgh. But as far as New York Rangers go, to me, if you were to ask me who I thought the best player on the ice was today for the New York Rangers, hands down, it was Derek Brassard. Derek Brassard, Michael Flecha, he was far and away the best player on the ice for the New York Rangers. A goal, 2 assists for 3 points, plus minus of 4. And how about this? Throw in 7 hits and 10 face-off wins. Yeah, that's a stat line right there. That is a very good stat line. To have a goal and 2 assists, 7 hits, and win 10 face-offs. Yeah, Derek Brassard, no question about it, was the best player on the ice for the New York Rangers. No question about that. But there were others. I mean, he wasn't the only one. I said he was the best one, but that doesn't mean there were any other guys that I can't give some love to. Of course, JT Miller. I mean, JT Miller this year had a career year for the New York Rangers, no doubt about it. And he had a great game today too. He had 3 assists, throw in 3 hits, and he also won a faceoff. So very good stat line for JT Miller. Kevin Klein. I'm going to throw Kevin Klein in there. Kevin Klein may not have found the score sheet, but like I always say, less is more sometimes, and it's always you don't have to put a goal and an assist on the score sheet. A defensive effort. I mean, listen to this stat line: 8 hits. He led the team with 8 hits, and in addition to that, he had 4 blocked shots. Great stat line for Kevin Klein, and that's why Kevin Klein is on my list of winners for the New York Rangers today. Tanner Glass throws in 7 hits. Kreider Chris Kreider throws in a goal. He also had 6 hits in the game as well. And I definitely thought he had a good game today too. Matt Zuccarello, I mean, the guy who could have been the ultimate difference maker for us, he gets hurt a year ago, and then, the wheels fell off, against Tampa Bay last Eastern Conference final. He's showing you why he's the heart and soul of our team. He had another great game today. He throws in a goal. He had 6 hits rather. Oh, if he had 6 assists, we really would have had a game. But no, he had a goal. He had 6 block shots. Once again, 6 hits, throws in a block and a takeaway. So a goal, a block shot, a takeaway, and 6 hits for Zooks. Yeah, Zooks had a big game, no question about that. Derek Stepan won 8 faceoffs. Give him a hit and a block. And Dominic Moore had a great game as well. I mean, 3 hits, 2 block shots, won 5 faceoffs. And I'll even give you Eric Stahl, our big acquisition, our big trade deadline acquisition from the Carolina Hurricanes. 3 hits, won 7 faceoffs. I'll even give you his brother, Mark Stahl, 2 hits and 2 block shots. Solid game for him. Stolberg, a couple hits. Jesper Fast, 3 hits and 2 block shots. And I think I pretty much ran down everything else. Ricky Nash had a block, a hit, and a takeaway. And and then of course we can't forget about Henrik Lundqvist. I mean, 29 saves. Yeah, that right eye is just fine, no doubt about that. And those are pretty much my winners from the day. I'll throw in Keith Yandel because he scored a goal. Also had a block shot. That's all he did. And solid game from Yandel. And that's pretty much it. I mean, as I see the other stat line here. To me, the only player on the ice that really didn't do anything for me today was Danny Boyle. I mean, Boyle did absolutely nothing today. I mean, he had a plus-minus of 2, but that's not going to cut it. That doesn't cut the Dijon here. I mean, nothing on the score sheet, nothing on the defensive end, and I need to see more from Danny Boyle come Tuesday night when we head back to the Garden for Game 3. And Brady Skye had 3 hits and 3 blocks. I just noticed that now. I can't forget about him. I'm glad I caught that before I moved on. Brady Skye, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, Skjei. But young Brady had 3 hits and 3 block shots. That's a very good game for that young man, no doubt about that. But as great as all but Danny Boyle was today, my ace of the game today, my superstar, my number 1 star, if you will. No doubt about it. Best player on the ice for the New York Rangers today. No question about it. Hands down. It was number 16, Derek Brassard. He gets my Broadway hat, if you will. Of course, I got to talk about the other side, the Pittsburgh Penguins. You talk about Nicky Bonino, Fletch. Bonino had a great game. 2 assists. Won 14 faceoffs, had a block shot. Bonino, one of my stars of the game for the Pittsburgh Penguins, one of the few stars they had. Kessel with a couple of goals. Of course, he'll definitely get a mention, no doubt about that. Let me see. Kunitz, I thought Kunitz had a good game for the Penguins today. He had 4 hits and a block shot. Same for Benny Lovejoy. Chris Letang, 3 hits, 2 block shots, and a takeaway. A good game for Letang. You mentioned Malkin. Malkin had a decent game today as well. A couple hits, a block shot, and a takeaway. Sidney Crosby may not have found the score sheet, but he had a block and a hit. He also had 14 faceoff wins. Matt Cullen, a hit and a block, throwing 11 faceoff wins, and that pretty much is it for the Pittsburgh Penguins. I'll give Brian Dumoulin an honorable mention. Had 3 block shots for the Penguins. Ian Cole had 3 hits for them as well. And that's pretty much all I can see. I'll even throw in Brian Rust. Had 2 hits, a takeaway, and a block. Connor Sheary, a block and a hit. And those are pretty much the only stars I saw for the Pittsburgh Penguins today. No question about that. And Zatkoff, 24 saves on 28 shots. Didn't do much for me today. I mean, he had that great game in Game 1, but Henrik Lundqvist definitely outplayed him, no question about it. And Pittsburgh had sloppy defense, like I said. I mean, the defense at times definitely very sloppy, no doubt about that. And New York Rangers took full advantage of that, and I couldn't be any more pleased about it. And now I'm hearing, according to one of our beautiful Ranger friends on Twitter, Stephanie Alves, one of our beautiful baby girlfriends over there, who's a big Ranger fan like us. I don't know if I'm hearing this right. Apparently, Marc-Andre Fleury is going to be back. Is that what I'm hearing? I guess Marc-Andre Fleury is going to be back in net for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Well, according to what I know, he was listed day to day, and they actually held him out for the first couple of games. Apparently, yes, there was a rumor going around that Marc-Andre Fleury is supposed to make his return for the Penguins on Tuesday night. And on top of that, the Rangers did suffer an injury in the game. I think Derek Stefan took a hard hit into the boards. He did leave momentarily, but they did say that he did return late in the third period. However, he has been listed day to day now. They're calling it an upper body injury for Derek Stefan. But it looks like, just like with Henrik Lundqvist, it looks like he's going to be all right. They just listed him as day to day, and he should be okay for Game 3 on Tuesday night.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to be sure on that. I saw it on her Twitter. She said, so I guess Fleury is going to play on Tuesday. #Rangers. So yeah, we'll have to wait and we'll have to look into that come our next roundup on Tuesday night. So yeah, I mean, great win for the New York Rangers, a must win for the New York Rangers. They needed this win more than anything else. If they had lost this game and gone down 0-2, despite going back home, where they've been great all year, our chances of winning this series would have been very grim. But with this win today, evening the series at 1 apiece and sending it back to the Garden for game number 3 on Tuesday night, I mean, you and I, Fletcher, are both feeling very optimistic about our chances in this series. I mean, we've beaten this team the last 2 years in the postseason. Of course, 2 years ago, that memorable comeback from 3-1 down that pretty much kickstarted our Cinderella run to the finals, as you know. And then last year, we had no trouble with them in the first round. We beat them in 5, and then we came up short against Tampa in the conference finals in Game 7. So yeah, I'm definitely I'm still scared. I'm not going to lie. I'm still scared. I mean, I'm not fully confident in us winning this series, even though I do. My heart tells me to go with the Rangers. My heart's telling me the Rangers in 7, but my gut is still telling me Pittsburgh in 6 or 7. But hopefully this time my heart outweighs my gut on this one. So that's what I'm hoping for here. So I mean, for the Pittsburgh Penguins, obviously, I'll give you my my Tony's take here. I'll give you my keys to the game when it comes to game number 3. For the Pittsburgh Penguins, far and foremost, the defense has to improve. I mean, they can't play sloppy defense like they did today. If they keep playing sloppy defense like they did today, the New York Rangers, no question about it, are going to win this series and put them out for a 3rd year in a row. I mean, that's far and away the first thing for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Improve the defensive play, because that defensive play was absolutely sloppy. And and the other thing is, my other key for the Pittsburgh Penguins, no question about it, if it is indeed Marc-Andre Fleury in net, he's got to play like that Fleury of old. Like that Fleury of 2008 and 2009, when the Pittsburgh Penguins made those back-to-back appearances in the Stanley Cup Finals against the Detroit Red Wings, coming up short in 2008, and then, of course, winning it in 2009, winning it at the Joe in Detroit. So we got to see that Fleury. We can't see the Fleury of, the last couple of years that's been really, somewhat ineffective. As for the New York Rangers, their keys, obviously, Henrik Lundqvist has to continue to stand on his head, obviously, first and foremost. take advantage of the sloppy defense, keep the hitting coming. I mean, keep the pressure on. I mean, 57-25, the hit advantage in favor of the New York Rangers. And those guys have definitely got to keep that up. I mean, if they can have another game like that, the Rangers' chances of winning this series are definitely improved quite greatly. So very pleased with this win today. I liked what I saw. I liked the physicality that they showed. I also liked that they took advantage of Pittsburgh's sloppy defense. And what I liked more than anything else was seeing Henrik Lundqvist back to his usual self. I mean, eye injury? What eye injury? He looked just fine to me. So those are my keys to it. Looking forward to Tuesday night. Hopefully it's another win, but we'll see what happens. So that's pretty much my take on that. So Michael Flecha, if you want to throw in your 2 cents, Doc, it's all yours.
Well, an amazing game for the New York Rangers as they rebound from what was a disastrous game 1. And what they did was they learned their lessons from the last game. They showed their might. They showed their heart. They showed that they had the offense arsenal this time around and looked a lot more stronger than they did. For the Pittsburgh Penguins, now it's basically, a regroup. Now they got to rethink about what went wrong and everything else, but they'll get 2 days to do it. And game 3, like I said, a pivotal game 3 will go down Tuesday night from the world's most famous arena in Madison Square Garden. The game, you can see it live on the USA Network in the United States. In Canada, I believe it's CBC that's going to have the game, I believe, or it could be RDS. So check your local listings for all you guys up there in Canada. But for you guys in the United States, the game is on the USA Network. So with that said, we're going to wrap it up for the night. For Anthony Florio, I'm Michael Flecha. We'll see you guys very soon. Rangers win 4-2. We are now in a best of 5 for the next round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Until then, we'll see you guys on Tuesday night for another edition of the Ranger Roundup. But we also got a wrestling forum on Monday night after Monday Night Raw, 11 p.m. Eastern on the Tone25 YouTube.com page. So long for now. Have a good night, everybody. Rangers win.